let's say 5th edition, when you can level up, you'll get more HP, you'll get more damage, you get more power, you'll get more hit chance, you'll get more power in the forms of feats. In Delta Green, you don't do any of that. You don't get more HP. You don't get more powers.
To get one superpower. Depression, insanity.
Yeah, schizophrenia is my superpower. Talking to the things that aren't there. And, they guide me to hell.
TTRPGs, the ultimate playground of the imagination. These are the journeys of system exploration. Its ongoing mission? To discover innovative game systems, to seek out unique mechanics and new ways to inspire creative storytelling, to thoughtfully explore the systems others have created before us.
I forgot that this... It's so fucking dumb.
It's fantastic.
I can't wait to make the first intro because I want to do the classic space exploration show intro where it just like pans over people's faces. I can't wait.
I know you talked about like, let's do the shorter thing. I think that needs to stay in because we reacted to it.
I'm okay with it.
This really tickles me as a fan of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's
man.
funny is the biggest inspiration I got was from Galaxy Quest.
That counts?
It counts. It's a Star Trek like. Welcome to System Exploration by Unfortunate Ones. I'm Sov.
I'm Nix.
And I'm Graythorn.
System Exploration is our new series. This is the first episode of the series where we explore various TTRPG systems. On this channel, I'm sure we will still explore the classic Dungeons and Dragons, but we will also dive into other games that we both know and love, as we've all played other TTRPGs, as well as new TTRPGs, taking turns jamming for each other, running mini games. Oftentimes, I think where our intentions is to play a low game and then a mid game to get a feel for the system. And then we will do a post show talking about how we felt as we played through. If you are listening to this and you want to skip all of the rules and explanations and session 0 crap, feel free to skip to this first actual play episode. But otherwise, today we will be playing Delta Green as run by our GM, Graythorn. And Gray, I'll let you take it away.
All right. So, Delta Green. What is Delta Green? Delta Green is a system based off of Call of Cthulhu, where I believe Call of Cthulhu, you're more ordinary people who are just caught up in a mess of eldritch horrors, as inspired by Geiger?
H.P. Lovecraft.
Lovecraft. Wrong guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're both draw weird.
They're both close.
Yeah.
However, in Delta Green, you are still regular, ordinary people, but you are contacted by a mysterious organization in America who looks to keeping spooky stuff secret. And they recruit you because you come into some sort of contact with one of these things that will be referred to as vectors. And then from there, usually Delta Green agents tend to be part of a federal system, such as the FBI, CIA, rare occasion NSA, DOD, stuff like that.
Would it be wrong to say like an X-Files vibe?
It's a very heavy X-Files vibe.
Yeah.
From there, I guess the big thing to note is that Delta Green is not like your ordinary or your more common fantasy systems. It is very much horror-based, and the most important thing to know is that everybody here is a regular, ordinary human.
Yeah, we're not superheroes.
Yes, in let's say 5th edition, when you can level up, you'll get more HP, you'll get more you'll get more damage, you get more power, you'll get more hit chance, you'll get more power in the forms of feats. In Delta Green, you don't do any of that. You don't get more HP. You don't get more powers.
To get one superpower. Depression, insanity.
Yeah, schizophrenia is my superpower. Talking to the things that aren't there. And, they guide me to hell. So that's an important thing to know. So in 5th edition, at level 1, you're pretty much a regular ordinary person. A longsword might have enough damage on it to kill you. In Delta Green, that is the case all the time. If there is a longsword in the game for some reason, which there is in the stats, I believe it's a D12 of damage, you're dead if it hits you and it rolls high. If you get shot, there's a good chance that you're going to die because the max roll of a gun is generally the average amount of HP that you have as a regular, ordinary human, which tends to average out around 9 to 11.
Yeah, you could take 1 or 2 shots based on average rolls, but one shot can just fuck you up.
A critical hit may just be the end of your character.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is a stat to bring in the horror aspect of the game called sanity. Depending on the mission or on the grace of your handler, that is the GM, you may roll this a lot, or you may not roll it that much. Regardless, it is the ever-looming threat to your character's sanity. Whether or not you can continue to play them, or whether or not they'll be of any use, is directly related to how well you can pass a sanity check. And if you lose too much sanity, you might suffer temporary insanity, which could be something as simple as run, fight, flight, or freeze. Or, worse, you can get a permanent mental disorder such as depression, night terrors, schizophrenia, all that fun stuff. The scars that are left upon your character will carry on and live with them most likely forever. And it could be either a great harm or it could be, just a little bit of my guy didn't sleep during the night.
Yeah.
So he's exhausted during this operation. That sort of thing. Delta Green, big difference that you'll notice if you're like a standard fantasy player, Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, is that Delta Green relies more on the D100. It is a D100 roll under system. So all of your chances to be successful, if you have a percent chance, say on your character sheet, if you just take a quick look, there's unarmed combat. It is 40%. If you want to be successful in unarmed combat, you need to roll under a 40. And to compile that, critical rolls, they are 1, 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99, and 100. If your critical roll is under your success chance, it is a critical success. If it is over, it is a critical fumble. A 1 is always a success. A 100 is always a failure.
Sorry, it's basically doubled numbers, right?
Yeah. 1, 100, and doubles.
I got immediately distracted looking at the character sheet. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm sorry.
He said, I'm a little tired. I might not pay attention. But that is the most basic part of this game. You have your standard statistics: strength, constitution, dexterity, intelligence. There is power, willpower, wisdom, and then charisma. And then from those, we derive other attributes, which will be our HP, our willpower points, our sanity, and our breaking point. Strength, like most things, handles whether you're strong and how much damage you do with melee attacks and melee weapons. Constitution is usually just based on whether you're sturdy enough or strong enough to withstand something. I'm not sure if poisons really exist in this game, and they probably do, and that will also be rolled against your constitution. Dexterity directly affects how fast you are, and it is your exact number in turn order. So instead of rolling for initiative, you would just, if you have 5 dexterity, you go add turn number, you're the 5th position in the turn order. So if somebody has 6, they go before you. Somebody has 4, they go after you. Intelligence, it is your mark of intelligence. It is probably one of the more important important things in the game as opposed to other games, just because a lot of times you are using your character's intellect or general knowledge to remember and understand things.
It's a heavy investigation game.
It is indeed. Power. So in Dungeons and Dragons, I like to refer to wisdom as willpower a lot. It is more pertinent to refer to it in this game because power is your strength of mind. It directly affects whether or not you can shrug off the mental assault that items and creatures will inflict upon you. And sometimes it is your ability to use eldritch and magical items themselves. And then it's also a consumable stat. We'll probably talk about that later. Charisma. We all know what charisma is. A lot of us lack it. Some of us are very good with it. Charisma is your presence of mind, and that also directly affects your sanity as well. Hit points. We get those from adding our strength score to our constitution score. So if you roll a 10, and then we average it. And if you roll a 10 in strength and then a 12 in con, you add those together, you get 22, and you have 11 HP. That's why it's so easy to find yourself on the floor, either unconscious at 2 hit points or dead at 0.
Mm-hmm.
Fun times.
Yeah, there's no going under. There's no going unconscious.
There's no going under. There's no unconscious is you hit 2 HP or 1 HP. You're unconscious.
Sorry, there's no going. There's no like the.
There's no grace period.
Yeah.
No saves. No.
There are no death saves or anything like that.
No.
Yeah.
So the higher your HP, the more likely you are to not fall unconscious and become helpless. If you say for some reason decide to come into the game with a 6 HP character, you could only get 4 points of damage before you hit the floor. So someone can punch you for a 1d4 minus 1, and they have 10 strength, so they don't get any bonuses to that. They could nearly put you unconscious with a maximum roll. It's like we like to say about G&G, don't get shot.
Yeah.
And Delta Green is don't get into any fights
at all.
Right? don't get into a car crash. Don't fight with a rose bush. Don't get bit by a dog.
It's kind of like real life.
It really is.
Like when I see a dog, look, I'm pretty sure I could take most dog breeds, like as far as like smaller dog breeds are more common. But like even like a medium small dog, if I see a medium small dog roaming around my neighborhood, like I hope it stays over there. I still don't want to fight it. You know what I mean? I only have 6 HP.
Well, that's why I walk around with a 1d4 knife at all times. I've been bit too many times. I'm not getting bit again. Or at least I'm not going down alone. Sanity points. Or actually no, willpower. So willpower, it is one of the more uncommon stats to use. However, it is very important because willpower is like your brain's HP. If you hit 0 in willpower, you will be unconscious, and it will take some time for you to come to be roused again. There are times where willpower can be assaulted directly, and you'll just lose those points for however long it takes to get them back. I believe a rest or an actual operation ending until we go into a downtime vigilante is when we get them back. And that is derived directly from our power, I believe. It's been a little while since I've actually played this game. Yes.
I mean, this is going to go so much better than when we start playing new systems, so don't worry about it. The fact that you know any of the rules is better than when we have to like look up every single rule when we're playing a new system.
Don't worry till we get to my system. So yeah, willpower is derived directly from your power. Sanity. Sanity is the other important score. This is the score that will be affected most of the time, multiple times a game, and probably even multiple times a combat if it were to even happen. You derive your sanity from multiplying your power by 5. And then the next stat, the breaking point, is your sanity minus your power. So if you have 10 power, you'll have 50 sanity, and then your breaking point is 40. That is important because if you ever hit your breaking point, you will suffer temporary insanity with a chance of permanent insanity. And then after that, since I've mentioned the multiplying by 5 thing, another common thing that we've been doing with our stats is we'll be multiplying them by 5. That is to help us ascertain the percentage chance of success when we do a basic strength check, as opposed to a check like alertness, which is it has its own score.
Yeah, and then after you do the multiple of 5, it's like everything else where you roll a D100 and it has to be lower than
Correct.
that number. Yeah.
So if you have a 12 in strength, your success chance with strength checks are 60. You want to roll 60 or under to successfully pass that strength check.
Yeah.
And then there are tons of skills that, range from accounting to medicine, things like military science, bureaucracy, criminology, demolitions. All of those have that same percentage chance to succeed. You want to roll under it. And we'll get to those a little bit later when we get into character creation.
Yeah. I always did find it fascinating the first time I looked at this sheet and I saw a stat for accounting and bureaucracy. I was like, what the fuck is this game? This game is nonsense.
Yeah, well, it seems like that, but like you got to think like anything that you're playing. So what year will we be playing?
1998.
1998. So you got to think about when you're looking at this sheet. I mean, when you're not necessarily an official authority trying to do an investigation, yeah, that might have you having to do some weird accounting thing to, you know what I mean? You might have to be like checking someone's books or something to figure out why this bookie did this thing or whatever. But then like also, you got to break into their house, and that's a risk assessment. Well, how well do you know the law? If you break in, should you leave your gun in the car so that you don't, you know what I mean? Like, it really does cover a lot of bases. If you got to get from one point to another, having to navigate things like occult, how well do you understand any of this weird shit that's going on? Criminology, how well do you understand how criminals operate? I imagine is what criminology is.
It's more based on like criminal stuff as opposed to law. Is there law? No. Criminal stuff and law. No, there is a law skill. Yeah.
There is a law skill.
So criminology is like, can I pick this lock?
Okay.
Can I break into a second story window?
Oh, like, can I do a crime?
Can I do a crime?
It's a can I do a crime check?
Can I do a crime, or do I understand how this crime was committed?
Yeah. I understand, like, that's why we talked about Delta Green having such a good person sheet, especially like modern era, aka like the last 200 years of real world history. What would be a real person and operating in the world as a real person. It's a good sheet for that. And like, it seems dumb to have, archaeology and bureaucracy on the same sheet with firearms and unarmed attacks. But like, it makes sense. Like, it really does cover a fucking significant lot of bases.
Yeah, because that also ties into the fact that there are professions that you choose from as the background for your character. So you can just be an anthropologist or historian as opposed to a soldier, a veteran soldier, or an FBI field agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Delta Green. The concept, as far as I understand with Delta Green, which is like the reason why you get chosen.
Yeah.
Much like,
I was going to actually ask him to go into that of like what is, because Delta Green is an agency, but it's not a traditional one. So I was going to have him dig into that because like you're saying, it's
I was just going to say that much like Men in Black, when at least the original one, before they like retcon the story with the later movies.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah. But like Will Smith is just somebody in the LAD in the NYPD, and he gets tapped because he gets himself involved in something weird,
something occult,
some alien that he encounters, and so the agency gets to him and it's like, hey, do you want to, like, you have an option to join. Much like if you were just, instead of you were being a police officer, you could be an archaeologist. Yeah. And you were just in the middle of a dig site, and then all of a sudden some weird occult shit happens. Mm-hmm. and you're just like, oh, that was weird. You go to bed and you wake up the next morning and you got an envelope, or somebody stops at your door and drops something off, and then you read it and it's like, hey, do you want to get involved in this?
Yeah.
At least that's my understanding.
Mm-hmm. So I guess we could go into that next. Delta Green characters, like I said before, there are regular, ordinary humans of the real world. Now, generally, because Delta Green itself is an organization, a black box organization that is very loosely put together of various American officials, government officials, etc. They don't have a lot of presence and they don't have a lot of funding, so they pull their people from the American populace.
Yep.
So, like we said before, an anthropologist or historian can become a Delta Green agent because not only do they have the general skill set to investigate certain things, like some ancient artifact found in the middle of Iraq, which has its ties to some sort of Babylonian deity from, the BC era.
Yeah.
They have the knowledge of that time. They understand Aramaic or Aramaic. I forget the other language from around there. And they had a mishap involving some occult feature or some unnatural feature with whatever it is that they study. So then Delta Green would say, hey, be at this place at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's generally how Delta Green agents are chosen. So when we create our characters, what we're going to be doing is we're going to figure out a reason why our character is who they are and what it is that brought them into contact with the unnatural.
Don't worry. The whole time you've been talking and I've been not listening, that's what I've been thinking about.
I hate this guy.
Literally, it's like the two separate paths that could have been answered, which was you were like, "Oh, I've been thinking about my character the whole time." As Gray was saying that, I was like, "Oh yeah, I was supposed to think about a character this whole time."
You're talking, and if you were to pay attention to me at any point, you could see my eyes drift off of you as I'm just thinking about other shit.
Gonna be a mall cop.
Sorry, continue.
I mean, that's all you really need to know about how the characters.
I like the way you describe it,
exist.
the black box. It's an amalgamation of American agencies that have kind of pulled together to unofficially investigate the occult.
Think about like the X-Files branch of the FBI from the X-Files.
Yeah.
But completely disassociate them from having an official place.
Yeah.
In the government.
It is that, but unofficial, pulled from people that have experienced the occult, not necessarily directly agents, though it's more commonly that, I think. But it could be an archaeologist, like you were saying. And then wildly underfunded. Generally, you're going in with your own shit, though it is, this would be a good thing to talk about, requisitions. So, like, you can, I believe, through your handler or the connections that you have, let's say you are a cop, you might have LAPD or NYPD or Chicago PD, wherever you are, connections, and you can requisition things and try and get things for the mission.
Mm-hmm. So depending on how your handler likes to run things, whether you have a lot of support from a cell, which is the top tier cell that kind of runs everything, the admin cell, whether we could call them, all of the things that you have and all of the things that you're going to be using are going to be sourced directly from your own characters. So if you have a very poor paying job and you happen to be an agent, it's going to be very difficult for you to say, get yourself a high powered sniper rifle that costs somewhere between $10,000 to $20,000 with all the fixings.
Oh, and also if you do happen to get yourself, as you said, a sniper rifle with all the fixings, and you need that for the mission that you get assigned to, but the mission that you get assigned to requires you to have a flight to the location.
Yeah.
Guess what?
You need to figure out how to get that high-powered sniper rifle to point B.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're just. It's not just.
Well, you might be able to get it dropped off at point B as well, depending on your connections and your handler.
Yeah,
that
and
is
ACell.
possible.
Yeah.
So that is a big feature too. Is planning your trip to the op.
Yeah.
is something that could be very easy. Say you are FBI, you can just say, hey, I need, an FBI field kit sent to this place because I'm going there. And they could probably do it because it is sort of a standard expense, which is how they label it inside the handler's guide, the agent handbook. Is they level expenses by their severity or their what's the word for not severe? Something that could just be shrugged off.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right? A flashlight. Yeah, you can get a flashlight from the FBI.
Sure.
I don't remember what the rarity or what the system is called, but it's similar to rarity in D&D.
It's essentially what it is. And so like a high-powered sniper rifle that costs a lot of money because it has all sorts of military-grade equipment on it, it's gonna not only cost a lot for you or the agency, but people are also gonna see that and be like, what is Special Agent Frank doing with this sniper rifle in the middle of California?
Like, the rule book and guides for this game are all available for free, right? This is like a free system, correct?
No.
It isn't.
No, it's a paid system.
Oh, I thought for some reason I thought everything was online.
There's an SRD, but I'm not sure how
How in depth it goes.
Yeah.
If we can, depending on what is available, we'll try to post a link of like
of where you could pick this system up. It's a great system. It also has a good, I believe it's good. I haven't looked at it in a long time. It has a good Foundry VTT.
It does. It is good.
Is it good?
Yes.
Sweet.
Automates things real nice.
Yeah, we'll try to put some of that stuff in our description to get people to kind of go and check it out. Check out what is and isn't available and like.
Oh, the art is so simplistic, but also beautiful. Like it's very governmenty. Like the character sheet is very standard, just boxes and whatnot. But then it has what is it? Restricted. It has like the underprint of like restricted, like it's been stamped onto your character sheet.
Oh yeah, that's
and like a lot of the book is that and like redacted and blah blah blah. It's a very
fun,
like government. Like agency oriented book. It's really cool.
It has a very fun aesthetic for what it's trying to
be.
It
allows for such simplicity, but still look really good and on theme.
One of the comments I was going to make earlier when Gray was talking was, this is an exaggeration, but my feeling about like ACEL, the agency, and a lot like what you have access to, and like how much is your own character is reliant on their ability to provide things.
Yeah.
Is imagine the organization you're working for is like a group of flat earthers that meet at a rec center.
Yeah.
Like some people are going to
It's even worse than that. It's a group of flat earthers that only converse through drops. Like there's not even actual conversations that happen.
Like there's one guy who registers the room at the rec center. There's another guy that gets the drinks. There's another guy who brings chips. And it's all reliant on all of them people talking to each other. And it's not like you get a budget. It's just kind of like, hey, we're going to meet here at this time. Show up.
It varies, I think, but all my handlers kind of do that, like very hands off.
Yeah.
Like, why are you calling me? What the mission hasn't been done? It's like, we don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. I imagine there's a lot of
some weird shit just happened that we weren't expecting.
Yeah. I imagine there's a lot of leeway when you design the game. You could have it so that your ACEL is a lot more funded. And you could, if you wanted your players to have more access to certain items or whatever, let's say the kind of missions you want to run in this system is a little bit more exotic or whatever, you could easily provide more to the players.
It also depends on the era, I guess, because there is a lore to the Delta Green where they were more funded in like the Cold War era, and then there was like a hard split between some of them, and so then one side went off and became what's called as outlaws or cowboys, and they do their own thing and they don't care about most of the rules of Delta Green, and then there's Delta Green that tries to keep things more under the belt.
I mean, the biggest rule with Delta Green with our agency that we're going to be a part of is like not letting the public know what's going on, right? That's like one of the big things is like...
It's sort of the big thing with both sides, but Delta Green is more like, we really don't want this to get out.
Yeah.
So you find it, you destroy it, and if you're found out, we don't know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then also there's legal consequences to everything that you're doing as well, because again, you are just ordinary people. And say you guys go to an op pretending to be FBI agents when you're a historian and a I don't know, a woodsman from like a militia woodsman who just lives out in the wilds and has his little community that all own guns and do their own training to stuff because they're waiting for the doomsday to come and to overthrow the federal government or whatever. If you guys show up pretending to be FBI agents and you get found out and maybe there's, you're caught on tape doing something bad, the law will come after you.
Yeah,
and
in a real way. Yeah,
and you're not going to get help with it.
Oh,
either.
you need to get information on like a murder suspect that you got that information somehow through the police department. You find out where their apartment is. It is a closed crime scene, and you break in and start messing around with that person's private information and whatnot, and then you get caught. Yeah, you're going to jail. Like, you lost. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just do that.
Times. It is very similar to G&G.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I talked a lot about this system with you.
Yeah,
and I seen a lot of things from Delta.
Well, what was funny is that like we talked about it so conceptually, and then I went off and made my own thing, and you talked about how much you loved what I made, and then we played Delta, and I was like, oh, I see why you like my thing, because this is like so many similarities, but without the insanity though.
Gritty, breakneck, realistic.
Yeah.
All right. What's a good thing to talk about next? Skills. So, in 5th edition in Pathfinder, you might be used to there being like 12 or 10 skills, all based off your attribute scores. Delta Green don't have none of that. Delta Green has 3 times as many skills, and none of them are based off your attribute scores.
Yeah, they're not driven by anything.
No, they are not. They're not driven by your scores. They're driven by your character's background.
I was going to ask you to talk about background, so this is actually perfect.
Mm-hmm. So, when it comes to skills, you'll have... how much do we actually have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39.
So many skills.
40, and then 41. And then that's not counting the optional foreign languages you can have. That is not counting the different branches of like 5 different skills. Like there is art. You can have a skill in different kinds of art from different eras, different mediums that you have knowledge in. There is crafting. I'm sure you can figure out what that means.
Yeah.
Military science, I believe, has different types of skills. I think that varies between machinery and I want to say explosives and stuff like that.
Yeah, the sheet has the semicolon to let you know that this particular skill has sub branches.
Yeah, piloting, helicopters, planes, etc. Science. Think of all the various different sciences there are in the world. Okay, biology, chemistry.
No, as we know, you could be an earth scientist.
Yes,
and claim to know what what kind of salts you should eat.
Yes,
of the nearly
or dyes
of the nearly 40 skills. Only about 20 of them do you inherently have stats in.
Yes.
Like accounting, everybody knows a little bit about money. Your ability to search.
Your ability to be alert.
Yeah, exactly. And then of the other 20, you're probably only going to get points into a couple of them. Most of the skills on your sheet, you're probably just going to be crap at. As an example, it is supposed to be a real person's sheet, right? So like if, as we said earlier, you're an archaeologist, you have a 0 in piloting skills. Like, why would you? You know what I mean? Like, it's perfectly reasonable to assume having a 0 in a lot of, because they're so specific, some of these.
Yeah, because a lot of these are things that you're assumed to have received training in.
Yeah, you're a daytime security officer for an elementary school. Why would you have any points into military science?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like most of the skills on this sheet, you're just going to be crap at.
A daytime elementary school security officer. Why do you have 40 in demolitions?
Love it. And then, so your skills are in a very real way, directly driven by your background, but you are also allotted an amount of points, free points, right? Yeah, that you could add where you want them to be because, every person would be unique. And then do we roll for our abilities?
No. So, what do you mean roll to get more?
Strength, constitution, dexterity, do we roll those,
yeah, that,
right?
of course. That's 46, keep highest 3.
Okay.
So.
Oh, classic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I think is a little bit too high, but for the actual brutality of the system, I think it's better than a 56.
It's kind of reasonable to a degree, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Anything else we need to go over as far as rules or lore?
See, I'm not too good at determining whether that's a thing I should be doing.
I mean,
bonds. That is a very important thing.
Bonds are very important.
So, before we talk about bonds, we'll talk about sanity. When something happens in the game that can lead a person to be either feeling helpless, to have suffered violence, or to have witnessed something that is unnatural, which is unnatural meaning anything that is essentially magical or eldritch or aliens, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We will most likely be taking a sanity check.
Yeah.
So if John Doe has 50 sanity and he witnesses some sort of eldritch terror, let's say some creature just jumps out of the wall and has 5 faces and 3 arms and 2 eyes, and he sees it, it is his exposure to the unnatural. He has to make a sanity check. He has to roll a 50 to pass because he has 50 sanity. He fails. He rolls a 52. So what happens then is that he'll have to take sanity damage, which will be rolled by the handler. If he succeeds, he'll probably still take sanity damage depending on what he sees. Maybe he'll just take minimum sanity. Maybe he'll just take 1, or maybe he'll take a 1d4.
Yeah, there is a level of it doesn't matter how well you roll.
Mm-hmm.
The shit you're seeing is crazy.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, if it's something small, something inane, maybe like he saw someone get hit by a car.
Yeah,
that could be a sanity check.
Yeah,
actually, may I real quick? I was just gonna say to bring this up because like we all come from playing video games and playing TTRPGs, and it's really easy to have a disconnect. As an example, like playing Grand Theft Auto, I will drive 1,000 miles per hour and see how long I can not get hit, and then I'll hit something head on, fly out of my windshield, die, get right back in another car as soon as I'm out of the hospital, and do it again, and I don't think anything of it. And then literally today, I witnessed a very minor car crash. Genuine, this is a real thing that happened today.
Sure.
And immediately my heart rate went up a little bit, and I was like, I rushed over, make sure they're okay. Like immediately my heart rate went up, and like, this is just like when things happen in real life and in video games. When I come across, whatever, a zombie, I'm just like, yeah, killed a zombie in a video game. In real life, if a zombie busted into my house, I'd be freaking the fuck out.
Oh, I mean, even an aspect of what you're saying, like in this game, if there was ever a point where, let's say we were on a high-speed chase and we have to weave in and out of traffic in the game, and we're going like 90, 100, I could easily see either in that moment or when it's done to like roll a sanity check to see if like you're okay.
Yeah.
Because like weaving in and out of traffic, going 100, going like...
Yeah,
even
if
90,
you're not experienced in that,
if you're not experienced
terrifying.
in that, and even if you are, like, there's a little bit of like.
I feel like if you have like 90% in pilot, you're probably fine.
Yeah. So going off that, so John Doe sees this horrific thing. He fails a sanity check. He has to make a 1d12. Now that could very well, on a high roll, take him down to his breaking point and make things worse for him.
Yeah.
So what does he do? Let's say he rolls a 10, right? He is going to hit his breaking point. What we can do is we can project that loss of sanity onto our bonds. Now, what are our bonds? Bonds are people in our life. So John Doe, let's say he has a wife, 2 kids, and his best friend, Bud, that he goes playing poker with every Sunday night. He can choose one of those people. Each of them has a value to their bond score, which is based off their charisma, off the John Doe's charisma. And he can roll a d4 and say, hey, I rolled a 3, and I'm projecting that sanity loss onto one of my bonds. Now he's not as close with his friend Bud. And
this would happen in downtime, right?
no, this will happen
In
when it happens.
moment? Okay.
Yes.
I believe because you could use your bonds during the downtime,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the actual damage you do to the bond happens in the game as a response to the thing happening in game. Correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. I think I'll have to see that play out. But that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's more of just like this thing is like because it affects you,
Yeah.
it will affect your bond when you go into your downtime. So it's like
Well, that's the part that feels strange to me is like, so I see a horror creature
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden I don't love my wife anymore.
it would mean that like you're
Like in
starting,
the moment.
well, it means that like you're starting to spiral into what would cause a depression, like a so like.
But that's
Yeah,
why I was
if you
thinking
s-
that
if
it
you
seems
s-
like it would be, because I thought it was like I would get the insanity now, and then in my downtime, I can pull away from my wife a little bit in order to heal my sanity.
I feel like it's one of those things where like, oh, you push it down, like kind of like you push down your emotions. Where in that moment, you have the ability to push this feeling down.
Yeah.
But when you go home, you like hit your wife because you don't know how to resolve your. So it's going to affect your relationship.
Yeah, but it just seems like it would affect my relationship when I actually do that.
I mean, you can't hit your wife right there. That would have made everything better.
See a horror creature? I can't wait till I get home.
This is all her fault, damn it. That's why I'm here.
Zombies in the streets of Manhattan? Where's my wife?
Yeah, so that is something that you can do to protect yourself from, larger sanity losses, and it costs you in terms of bonds. Bonds are supposed to be real people in your character's life. You technically, between operations, are supposed to be back home and spending time with them. And we'll get into the downtime stuff later, which, that'll be important. But, there are times where something can happen to your bond. If your handler is a dick and says, hey, you know what? I rolled for it. Your wife got into a car crash. That could cause a sanity loss. Or if it's bad, she died in a car crash. Now you no longer have a bond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's
And even like part of what we were touching on in terms of bonds and the downtime stuff is like, as part of the role play of this game is also like your character also has to make excuses as to why they're leaving work or why they have to go to whatever the assignment is, depending how far away it is.
Yeah.
So like that is an aspect of the game is like, you have to be thoughtful of like, yeah, if you had something come up in your day-to-day life, you couldn't just take the next couple of days off, at least not very easily for most people. Like you have to come up with some sort of excuse. Use your PTO. Use like, yeah. It's like an aspect, like again, more of that fun aspect of the game of like
You're a person.
you're a person, like literally looking through this sheet. The bottom of the sheet is like a United States form. And it's like the very bottom says authorizing officer and then agent signature. Like there's just like little things about this game that just make it so like you get the vibe that again, it's all just, this is all supposed to be like regular ordinary people.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's a
Love it.
super vibey game. And I
Oh,
I
yeah,
do enjoy
totally.
it.
No, I really dig it.
Yeah. All right. So bonds, motivations, and mental disorders you'll see on the sheet. Motivations, that's a per character basis.
Sure.
Why are they here? Why are they doing the things that they're doing? And then mental disorders, well, that's because they're doing the things they're doing.
Mhm.
You'll see on the sheet the incidence of sanity loss without going insane. So when you see enough of either violence or helplessness, and you don't have a temporary break of sanity, you can get what's called an adaptation to that specific type of sanity loss. So you see enough people get hit by a car, I guess that's a violence. Next time you have to, from now on, when you roll against, sanity checks versus violence, you'll either be able to ignore it or you'll just get a lessened penalty if you lose it. Going back to skills, the rating of your skill is broken up into how much you can determine your mastery of a skill by its percentage. So you have like 20% or less, you're like a hobbyist in what you do. 30% is like you've done training, you've gone to school for it, a bachelor's maybe. 40% you're like a master's degree in it. 60% is like a graduate or decades of experience. So you've been out in the wild, doing archaeology for years. You're Indiana Jones. You got at least a 60 in that, right? If you're a Formula One racer, you could probably drive a car real good, like. So you're gonna be like 60 in that shit. If you spent your entire life doing something, that's what we consider being 80% in a skill. When you use your skills, there's always the option to not have to roll dice on it.
Mm-hmm.
When you're rolling dice for a skill, it's because your ability to do it at that point in time is uncertain. And instead of having a failure chance, like say you want to break into a computer and you have computer science 40, if you need to do it fast, and it doesn't matter if you're sloppy at the moment, you just need to get into that computer, get the information, get out, you're going to be made to do a roll. Otherwise, if you have all the time in the world and you got a 40, it's like, 10 minutes go by.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a level of, God, I would love to see it quantified, but there's a level of like passives. Cause like I do that all the time because D&D, I know we only ever talk about perception, insight, and investigation, but all skills have passives. And I look at that shit all the time when like someone's going to make a deception check or something. And it's like, yeah, you got to, this lie doesn't matter. And you have an 18 passive in deception. You could just lie. It's fine.
It's not even necessarily like to curtail the language a little bit. Where like it's not necessarily it doesn't matter. It's just the situation.
It's not a difficult lie.
Yeah, in the situation that you're in, the lie is not like you're not being so obtuse with your lie that like the person you're talking to is going to be like, oh, I'm weary of this person.
Yeah,
you've done your situation that you're in is just like. Yeah, the lie just flows through. There's
well, it's otherwise like if there's a certain, because this is how I use it in D&D is if there's a certain disparity, a significant enough disparity between the low level of difficulty and the high level of a passive that you have, then I don't make you roll.
Yeah,
it's fine.
And like Gray said, if it was like if in a similar situation like the criminology stuff and earlier example of lockpicking.
Yeah,
if you had tools, a lockpicking tool set, and you were in front of a door. And you're not trying to be hurried. You literally have...
It's a low-stake situation. There's no stress.
Yeah, there's no stress.
And you have a 40 in lockpicking. Like, yeah, it might take you a bit, but you could probably get it.
Yeah, you can get there easy.
Mm.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think the same thing goes with stats as well.
Yeah, I imagine everything... Again, it's up to the discretion of the DM. But for the most part...
Yeah.
It's... Not everything needs to be a roll. Like also you brought up in many TTRPGs, a lot of situations, everything doesn't have to be a roll.
No, and there's certain things that are like being done that are either not high stakes, not difficult, or whatever. And if you have a high enough passive, it's like because the passive is like your just innate ability to do things. So because a lot of times your passive is 0 still. In which case, that person should still roll for this, or even negatives. If you have like a negative to your intelligence, it's like, you have a shit passive. You're still going to have to roll for this. But like, if you're a wizard, you probably already have high intelligence. And then if it's like a history check to remember something and it's not a high stakes thing, and it's something that's been repeated 1,000 times, it doesn't necessarily even change the story. Like, it's fine. I'm just going to, you remember, it's fine. You don't need to roll for this.
Oh yeah, and any skill that's a 0, you can't even use.
Yep.
So don't try flying a helicopter.
I was just the pilot's such an easy example that I think would ground anybody. It's like, well, imagine yourself, you, right now. Can you fly a plane? No. So no, you fail. You fail automatically.
There was a turned off helicopter on a runway right in front of me. And I just it was open. And I could just get there. I wouldn't have any idea how to even turn it on.
Low stakes situation. You've been allowed onto this runway. There's literally nobody here. It's an abandoned runway. It has a full tank of gas.
Oh yeah.
You're not taking off.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to get the blades going. And even if the blades were going, to get it into the air, I would be frightened to like even attempt.
Oh, even if you got it that far, the maneuvers you would have to do to keep it up there, I imagine. Yeah, you're probably just immediately dying then. Like, oh, okay, you did it. You congratulations. You have a 0 on piloting, and you roll a 1. That's
Kobe.
like as high of. Oh my god. Right. Any other rules that need explaining? Any other lore that we need to go over? Weapons. Wounds and alignments, armor and gear, and weapons.
Yeah, off the sheet. So, wounds, you can suffer permanent injuries. And technically, you should also be tracking how many actual instances of damage you've taken, because you can only heal so much during an operation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's only so much that the first aid skill can do.
Yeah.
Afterwards, you need to either find a doctor or have somebody who has the medicine skill to try and heal you up. There's also the surgery skill, which can also do the same thing. But if it's not a high rating, avoid doing it because you can actually end up getting hurt more instead.
Yeah.
So it's fun. Ailments, it's diseases, poisons. You get bit by a rattlesnake, black widow, somebody poisoned your drink, you've been roofied. That probably put there. And then you'll see that checkbox that says has first aid been attempted since last injury. That's because you can only have first aid done on you one time until you go see a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
G&G.
Okay.
Armor and gear. There's various kinds of armors. Most of it is like flak jackets of some sort. You have flak vests. You have the overshirt flak jackets. You have full-on bomb suits that you can use. Then, there's all kinds of guns that we have that are sourced off of real-world stuff, but they're all sort of categorized by dice, by size. So, I think brass knuckles will bring your unarmed attack from 1d4 minus 1 to a 1d4. Baseball bat, I think, also applies to 1d4. Then a small caliber weapon like a .22 pistol, that will be a 1d6. A .45 will be a 1d8, I believe. That doesn't sound right. No, 9mm, that will be a 1d8. I believe a .45 will be a 1d10. A rifle will be a 1d12, and a much larger rifle will be a 1d12 plus 1. Killing things. And then you also have things like armor piercing, because there are base armor rates, so if you have a flak jacket, that's a 3 to armor rating. If you get shot by a d6 and you take 6 points of damage from the roll, you'll drop 3 points off of that. Lethality percentage, one of my favorite things about this game. There are some instances of damage which, instead of being rolled in chance to hit, will be rolled in lethality. Lethality is a usually low roll, say 15% chance, to, when successful, will instantly kill whatever it hits. Unless they are of a certain class type, which we'll go into later.
And then, depending on the weapon, it's like cone shapes and
cone shapes, circles. A grenade has lethality rating. A full auto machine gun has lethality rating. Full auto submachine gun lethality rating. A car driving at every 10 miles an hour after 20 has a lethality rating for people being hit by it and people inside of it. Stuff like that.
I almost want to instigate that happening just so that we could do the rolls.
I mean, if the opportunity comes where we could run over a thing that we need to run over.
A bad
why
thing,
not?
a bad person, bad thing. Yeah.
Or just saying.
We finish the story. We run each other over.
When lethality fails, there are multiple ways to handle it. I need to scroll through the pages to actually find that. So there is one of the ways is that you add the 10s dice to the 1s dice. So if you roll a 23 on a lethality roll and it's supposed to be a 15, the lethality failed. The damage is still going to go through. So you add 2 to 3, you take 5 damage. Still pretty brutal for this game.
Oh, yeah.
There is also armor types. I don't really want to call them armor types. States of being.
Like
So
conditions.
Conditions. So you have the normal state of being, which is just being normal. A normal person who takes lethality damage and the lethality is successful will die. If the lethality is unsuccessful, the 10's dice will be added to the 1's dice and you'll get your damage. If the creature is armored, I believe they also fall under the same rules. If the creature is huge, they're immune to lethality, and instead they'll just take the damage of the lethality rolled if successful. So I think that would be 15 on a 15%.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it's successful, then wouldn't the damage be lower?
No,
If it's 15 and I roll under that to be successful.
I think they still take 15, unless
Oh, they take the full 15?
yeah, I had to find it. It's like
That's
much
okay.
further down in the book.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we'll figure
if-
it out if it happens. Don't worry about it now.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that makes sense to me. If it's a lethality rating, and whatever the roll, if as long as you're successful in the roll, you get that percentage of whatever the roll is. So let's say the lethality rating, if it's a high
If it's
lethality,
11, then I get a 2 on my lethality.
no, you get 11 damage because the 11 was the percent that you had to hit.
Mm.
And if your lethality is really high, which means it's like 50%, and if you roll under the
Well, that's not
50%,
traditionally how lethality works. Traditionally, if you roll an 11 on a DC 15 lethality, they die.
No, I'm saying, but
They
if
don't
it's
take
a-
11, they just take death.
I'm just saying if they are
yeah,
immune to the
it's a fine
lethality,
way to do it.
It
Yeah.
takes the 15. The same.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is like if it's 40, that means it's a pretty high lethality.
That's right.
So-
A huge character takes the lethality rating as damage if
Yeah.
successful, and if fails, they take the lethality rating as HP damage regardless. No, so just use lethality against huge creatures.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just that just sounds like a normal against huge creatures.
Mhm.
Oh, it just doesn't kill them.
It just doesn't kill them.
Yeah, they take the instead of
They take the damage
instead of
not
an
the-
11 on a lethality of 15, an 11 being instant death for a human, it is 11 points of damage on a
Yeah.
huge creature.
Mhm.
Yeah, sexy.
And then there's another thing that you can do with lethality or damage in general is like every D6 after 2d6, you can just treat it as 3% lethality. Because you
Cool.
got that little HP anyway.
Cool.
Now there's a whole bunch of other stuff. We have rules for falling. We have rules for impact. Like
I think those types of rules,
That's
when
probably
exploring a new
best when
system, is
hit.
like if it comes up, great. If not, people have enough experience to be able to jump into a game, and when things like that come up in their game, they look up the falling rules, or they just read through the rule book themselves before playing. I don't think we need to get into every single rule. of the
exposure to
campaign.
cold, all that fun stuff.
Like your mini game is like in the desert or something like that, or like I don't know, in Southeast Asia where it's never cold, but we have to go over the cold rules. No,
Yeah.
We'll go over them if they matter.
I think the last thing that's important to go over will be the downtime, downtime settings.
Yeah.
So, after every operation, usually operations are meant to be contained to a single session. I think at least that's how it's been for me, but not necessarily. When every operation is done, it is time for your agent to go home. And what does that mean? Well, one of the most important things is that this is your time to develop your character outside of any dangers happening to them. Or they can pursue dangers and just ruin their life some more. It's very fun. So, one thing you could do is that you can fulfill your responsibilities to your bonds. We've talked about bonds before. We talked about, you see the evil thing crawling out of the wall and it just makes you want to hit your wife. So you go home and, well, you try to not hit your wife, but you've lost that 3 sanity with her. Now you're going to try and spend time with her to try to build that bond back up to its original value. That's one of the things you could do. Sadly, with everything that we do during downtime, we're rolling sanity checks just to make sure things go swell.
Yeah.
If you're successful, you usually get something back. If you fail, you usually get nothing. If you critically fail, you're losing something.
This game's so mean.
And then you lose some more sanity as well. Fun times.
I mean, the overall purpose of this game is to just lose characters over time.
Pretty much. If your character is not going down some sort of spiral to insanity, you're not playing the game right.
Oh yeah, this is not the upward trajectory of like D&D.
It's intentionally the opposite.
If you hit level 20 in Pathfinder and D&D, you're like a semi-godly character because you've had access to these different items and whatever. In this game, whatever the equivalent
are there levels or is it just downtime over time?
Just downtime over time.
Whatever the equivalent amount of playtime is to level 20, your character is fucked.
If you are playing the same character for a year-long campaign of Delta Gearing, again, I imagine has to be some level of Westwards March, but if you're playing the same character for a year, that character has to be the most unhinged, broken character that, like, you almost can't be a part of anything that goes down because you just immediately lose sanity every single time. Like, you go from, like, the first mission, oftentimes I imagine, where it's like, oh, your sanity took a hit. You got to work on that during the downtime, to, like, literally every time you leave your house, you get a new disorder as it gets worse and worse and worse.
I feel like that character is a guy who's like constantly gnashing his teeth. He has no bonds left before he, as he leaves his house, he checks the skies to make sure nothing's looking at him.
Yeah. Well, it's inherently it has that downward spiral effect because as you start to lose sanity, your maximum sanity goes down, right?
As you gain more knowledge of the natural, your sanity ceiling shrinks.
Yeah, so your ceiling shrinks, which means you have to roll lower and lower every time something occurs in a game because your threshold gets smaller and smaller to be able to deal with things.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
So anything that you do that doesn't involve spending downtime with your bonds is either to increase your character's attribute scores, increase your character's skill scores, or to restore sanity. Or I think there's also a chance that you can alleviate some of your mental disorders that you've gathered throughout time.
Also just on the sheet itself, there is the attempting skills, and failing at the skill allows you to actually get them better over time because you are still attempting to do the thing.
When you come back home, anything that you rolled a check mark in, I believe you roll a D4.
Oh shit, just like G&G.
D4 minus 1.
Yeah.
So it's if you make a checkbox, you failed that skill, and so when you do the downtime, when you're in your downtime, you erase your check marks, and you can add. I mean, because it's a 1D4 minus 1.
You can get anywhere between 0 and 3.
Yes, there's a chance you get nothing for it.
Yeah.
But there's a chance you can get up to 3% on any.
So what you're saying is I should try to fly the helicopter. No, because you can't attempt things.
You can't attempt it if you have a 0.
If you have a 0, you can't
at least
attempt
a
it.
1.
If you put at least 1% in there.
Yeah, but hey.
And also, you got
downtime?
Yeah, you can learn to pilot
Fuck
stuff.
your bonds. Go take a pilot's class. Get that 1% because you've had one instructor-led session. I feel like that's at least a 1%. You have to roll a 1 to be able to do anything. Yeah. And then, hey.
And then hope your handler, every mission just happens to set you up in a hangar that has an available helicopter.
No, just try to fly the car.
Okay. All right. Where were we at?
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Gray.
So to restore sanity, you can go back to nature. So you go, spend a little vacation off in the woods somewhere for a day, and then you take 1 point off of one of your bonds, and then you have a chance to get back some sanity. The D4, 4 for a crit, and if you critically fail, you can lose 1d4. You could establish a new bond, so you go and find somebody, meet them, whatever, become friends with somebody. Now you have a new bond that has a bond score equal to your charisma times, just your charisma, not times 5. Silly.
God, as an adult, trying to make new bonds? Ugh. Disgusting.
You go to therapy.
I almost made a friend at a party recently.
I think has the
Because they approached
highest
me and they were
amount of
like, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" And it was just that awkward like conversation. And I was like, "Oh, I run D&D games online." And then they were all of a sudden interested, and then I was interested in them being interested, and I nearly made a bond.
Oh, sorry to just have a tangent, because we can't help but have a tangent. Even an episode that's supposed to be a Session Zero episode,
Mm-hmm.
I think it is probably one of the best things about like the D&D nerdom, like about TTRPG nerdom, is if you meet another one of us in the wild,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh wait, you like this?"
Wait, you're a loser too?
And it's an immediate like, "Oh, we're gonna talk for the rest of this night
Yeah.
for however long."
We're kissing before the night's over.
Oh, well, permission. There's we're sanity checks and checking bonds, but
All right.
Just
Anyway,
gotta
sorry.
pass your charisma check. That's it.
Go ahead.
Your
Grace.
charisma versus their willpower.
Oh, no. No.
I'm not saying it's not consensual. I'm just saying if they're gonna make the mistake of kissing you.
yeah, you know.
No,
hey,
that's a constitution check. That's how do you do poison checks in this game?
it is one of the funniest lines I've ever heard. Is going up to a girl and be like, "Hey, can I be one of the things you regret doing?"
Hey, girl, let me be a regret in your life.
One of the things you can do is go to therapy, which has the highest potential for sanity, for recovering sanity, depending on whether or not your agent is willing to talk freely about why they've lost so much sanity. If you've been out there committing crimes, if you've seen unnatural horrors, and you're telling this to your therapist, there's a chance that they might call the cops on you.
Oh yeah, I was wondering when you're gonna get to
They
this part.
might commit you,
Yes.
or they themselves might start going a little crazy. And now you're out of therapist.
Or you get recommended
There you get
medications.
515. Yeah. 5150. Or now you just got to carry around chlorazepine the entire time because your doctor told you to, and it's enforced by law. You can improve a skill or a stat. So that includes, either the one of the 40 skills on your sheet or your actual statistics like strength, con, etc. Your skills have a chance to increase by 1d10, while your attributes have a chance to increase by 1. And when you're doing this, I think you're rolling to fail.
Sorry, which one?
When you try to improve a skill or stat,
Oh, okay.
you want to roll to fail to make it better.
Yeah, I mean that's what it says here.
Mhm.
It's the failures is what causes your skills to get better.
Well, even in the downtime stuff. And then there's personal motivation. So if you yourself want to study something, or you want to learn how to scuba dive, that's also things that you could take on. If you want to study things that you saw on the case, so say like you found a videotape inside some weirdo who had a vector in his cabin or whatever, and you take that tape and you take it home and you want to watch it, you can do that. You can learn more about what you're investigating. It might cause you some sanity loss. It might just waste your time. It might give you useful information on a greater conspiracy that's going on.
Yeah.
It's all stuff you can do.
It's also, again, another small tangent. It's one of the things I like about this game. It's not as harsh as like AD&D, but it's one of the things I enjoy about this game, which is like you have a swim skill. Your swim skill inherently is 20%. It gives you the like ability that you could flounder if you want to, but also like you're not it's not like D&D where like you just have an inherent swim speed.
Yeah.
You have like, you could just
like
swim
5e,
yeah, like 5e. Like you just have an inherent swim speed based off of your other stats. It's like, no, I've almost drowned because I have like a 10, 15 swim percentage. And I have a buddy of mine, or a buddy of ours, who has like a 60, and he saved my life. So, hey, things aren't just inherent.
Yeah. So I think that's all the real important stuff that we need to go over. The rest of them are things that we can just tackle when they come to it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anything if it comes up, we'll definitely, there's definitely questions I will ask more than likely about any of the stuff that comes up.
I guess other things to note are like if you decide to be part of an agency or pretend to be part of an agency, each agency has their own modus operandi, their own jurisdictions, their own how people look at them.
Yeah.
Sort of deal. So like if you're a cop, you probably are looked at pretty okay by the government agencies in your local area.
Yeah.
If you're an FBI agent, you're generally respected by most government agencies. If you're part of the Army, generally respected, you have zero jurisdiction for just about anything anywhere.
Yeah.
As opposed to FBI. FBI probably can get anywhere they want with the FBI jacket and flashing a badge.
Yeah.
The U.S. Army, can I enter your home? Why?
Yeah.
Fourth Amendment.
Valor?
The DOD, same deal. They can't really do much when it comes to civilian investigations. If you're investigating something federal, that's specifically federal, you might have jurisdiction. The chances is you're not going to have anything.
Yeah.
If you're, say, ICE, no federal agency likes you at all. And you're kind of looked at as the redheaded stepchild that everybody wants to beat.
But also, if you have a decent bureaucracy skill, you can kind of like make up your own kind of warrant. And if somebody doesn't understand what actually is applicable to having a warrant, then you could just kind of pretend and get into people's houses.
Exactly. Things to note.
No, you could just tell people that you don't need a warrant, and because people aren't very well versed in the law, they'll be like, "Oh, okay."
But that's like charisma skill versus like if faking a document.
Yeah,
you could fake a document versus just telling people.
Would it be
lies.
a bureaucracy or a criminal skill or a law skill if you were to just break the law knowing that there's no consequences?
If you're an actual
officer.
ICE agent,
yeah,
you probably have a lot in criminology because you are generally a criminal.
Yeah.
But bureaucracy and law is way too high tier for them. Remember, ICE sources their people from failed police officers.
It's true.
It's all in this doc too.
Is it?
It's unironically in this doc.
It's old too. It's not even related with what's going on.
I know. That's the funny part. Well, it is true that ICE is generally looked at as like,
no, I know.
We don't care about you in your jurisdiction. If you want to do something, go to an airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
That's about it. I guess now you can make your characters. And
can we take a short break? And then we will do some character. Oh, I guess I'll just be on the table.
Play that order.
Well, I guess I'm just going to be on the table.
Not my house.
Welcome back to System Exploration. And we are getting into character creation.
All right. So, for this operation, the game is going to be taking place in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, just think of 1998 stuff.
So, here's my character. My character's the name that I'm going to give Nix is Carl Wilson. He's ex-military, but that doesn't matter. After the military, retired from the military, which I'm thinking, what's it called when you get injured?
Purple Heart?
No, the type of leave, I mean.
Probably honorable discharge.
Honorable discharge. So yeah, I got a bad leg. So left the military, went into government, CIA. I am the classic or at least most of my career has been. We'll have to make this make sense for this story, obviously, and for bonds and shit reasons. But I'm like the classic what you would picture CIA in some small fuck town somewhere in South America, wearing aviators and a Hawaiian shirt and just collecting intelligence and just living out there. I'm actually very wealthy, but I live like a homeless person in a small little village in South America. Like I'm just collecting savings because I don't use any of it because I can't, because I'm like, you know, an undercover CIA operative, or like a plant somewhere in South America, just collecting information on whatever is going on down there, which is probably where I would have seen my first minor occult event tied to something that was probably going on in America, which would be my in with Delta. But yeah, just essentially retired military, retired army, into CIA. CIA being the actual thing will drive my stats from. Mm-hmm. But CIA plant somewhere in South America. Probably because of the Delta Green stuff, I probably would have had to come back to America, but I still just have that vibe of someone that just lived in a hut for 30 years for no reason, as just like a plant and just passing information back and forth between whatever country it was and America. I exist in aviators and like maybe a bucket hat, and
aviators, bucket cap, button up jeans.
Yeah, and then like an always fully open Hawaiian shirt.
Nix, any ideas of what you're gonna be doing?
I was thinking about doing something that wasn't necessarily tied to anything big, but it's also like it seems like the base suggestions in the handbook are all agency related. Mm-hmm. I might do something that's like I know the first name is Riley, and I want to do not necessarily something not something combat related. I'm looking at the CDC. So it's the public. I look at public safety section, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
That's interesting.
And then my suggested suggested professions inside here. I might be. Let me see. I mean, maybe the Office of Public Health Science and Services. Profession is engineer, media specialist, physician, or scientist. Maybe an engineer?
Stats are 4d6 drop the lowest?
Yes.
Okay. And then is it top down, hardcore?
No, you choose where they go.
You can choose where they go. I'm just going to start rolling that while you're helping him.
Hmm?
How come this there's a couple of these that look like they have the suggested professions have so if it doesn't have like professional skills, then you can just kind of say whatever.
I believe so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I noticed that some of these have like a list of these are the suggested skills that are underneath this.
Oh yeah, those are the skills that they suggest you take to fill that sort of role play.
Yeah.
And then, of course, after, no matter what you do, you still have your tag skills. The 8 skills that you get to add 20 to. Mm-hmm. And you can add as many 20s as you want as long as you don't go over 80 or 60.
Okay. So I think I might go in the Office of Public Health and Scientific Services. I might go scientist. And then it's funny, the equipment in here says an extensive professional library, diagnostic laboratory equipment. That sounds interesting. I don't think I would ever use it. I don't think I could use it in the field. Or what I could take. Good at saving lives. Okay, that's currently where I'm kind of ballparking the character to kind of fit in.
I rolled so well. I got a 14 to 17, 11 to 14, 14 to 16.
That is very good.
Sorry, what's the rolling again?
46, keep highest 3.
4d6.
And also be a nuisance and put your microphone in the roll tray and then roll hard. That's what I was doing while you were talking the whole time.
How many stats?
6.
So I kind of want him to be like relatively a disregard for human life. So I'm thinking I have to have like a high power.
Yeah,
That
you
makes
could
sense.
also take. I think you could take adapted to violence because you were in the army,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and at this point in time, what that'd be like Desert Storm.
I guess
How old is he?
I was picturing kind of older, like late 40s, 50s.
Yeah, Desert Storm.
Yeah.
You could have been around there. You could have been in the
When
shit.
was Desert Storm?
86. There were multiple Desert Storms.
I'm thinking more like Nam, to be honest, because
Nam was 60.
late 60s, early 70s,
wasn't
right?
it?
I mean, Nana's a pretty good bread.
But I'm thinking he's been in South America wasting his life away for a while.
I would say, yeah, either could work.
Yeah. I'm going to say Nam.
Yeah. So, then go look for where is it? Adapted to violence is a thing that you could add to your person.
The reason I stopped rolling dice is I've lost one of your dice.
That's good.
If you can give me a d6. Jesus.
I'm putting low dex because I'm starting with a leg wound.
That works.
So strength 14, con 14, dex 11, intelligence 17, power 16, charisma 14. It's a fucking good set. That's a good loadout.
Damaged veterans. So you can choose. You want extreme violence, captivity or imprisonment, hard experience.
Oh, captivity. He's a nom in captivity. He was a POW. Damn.
Spend some time in a tiger cage in the Hotel Hanoi
That's unfortunate.
or Hilton Hanoi.
Also,
Might have been there.
Where do
with,
I put that on my
John
sheet, though?
McCain.
probably under your motivations on 12. Box 12.
Is that where it would go?
I don't know.
You could put it in wounds and ailments.
Oh, no, there's
or-
a thing. Violence adapted.
That works too, yeah.
There's also personal detail and notes.
No, actually, captivity or imprisonment is adapted to helplessness. If you want adapted to violence, that'd be extreme violence. Vietnam still works.
No, I'll take the helplessness,
All right.
I guess. No, I like the violent. I like the like disregard for human life.
So extreme violence is you add 10% to your occult skill, reduce your sanity by 5, subtract 3 from your charisma and each of your bonds, and then you're adapted to violence.
Also, these fucking dice
Damn, that's hardcore.
are juiced.
Yeah, you got good too?
I got 11, 16, 15, 15, 14, and 12. These dice are fucking juiced, dog.
Hell yeah, bro. Okay, well, I'll worry about that. Let's do the rest of the sheet first.
All right.
As far as Nix is concerned, my name is Carl Wilson. Profession CIA.
Gray.
Yes, it is the 1-for-1.
Oh, I guess profession would be what? Field agent and then employer CIA?
Yes.
And then all of these scores multiply by 5. Put that.
Nom ended in 75. So assuming I was like 20 in, let's say 20 and 75, just for easy numbers. So 85, 95 would put me at 40. So I'm what, 43?
Average.
Say I was a little bit older. So yeah, I'll put 48.
HP is strength con average.
Averaged out, yeah.
Okay. And then round down.
Yes.
It's strength plus con halved, isn't it?
Rounded. Is that the same thing? You divide it by 2?
Yeah, the average of strength and con rounded down.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Right? Is that a right way to say that?
I mean, strength plus con halved. And
Yeah,
then,
Yeah.
which would be the same as averaged, yes.
Yeah.
Because we're using only 2 factors, yeah.
It would be
2 items.
It would be the median of.
Yeah. The way you said it was fine. It's just, I don't know, like averaging it seems like unnecessary.
Whatever floats
It's
your
the
boat.
same thing.
If you take the hypotenuse squared.
I mean, for me, my numbers are the same, so it's actually even easier math. Like, oh, let me add 14 plus 14 and then half that.
Willpower is the straight from power, right?
Yeah, it is the same thing. The same number.
Sanity points, how do you get that again?
Your willpower times 5.
Willpower times 5. Okay. Breaking point?
Your sanity minus your willpower.
Okay.
Sanity minus willpower?
Or power.
Or power, yeah.
Power.
Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I'm following. I didn't realize we were over there and I don't want to ask the same questions.
Oh, I didn't think we were like at a... I thought we were just kind of all over the place as we're figuring out our characters.
Well, we kind of are, but I'm trying to be at the same place so we don't have to ask the same questions.
How dare you?
Oh, you know what? My bad. You can go ahead. It's fine.
I'm thinking of a last name right now.
So, could I have your characters' names? But, you guys are going to be part of Cell U.
So you?
And generally, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be the first name or the last name. But, generally when you're part of a cell, your name is supposed to start with that cell's letter. So like your last name, your agent name, like when you go and say, I'm Agent so-and-so, you're going to be like, oh, I'm Agent Ulysses, and this is Agent Ulrich.
Dude, there's no way you were thinking Ulysses. Ulysses was what I was going to put for my character's middle name.
It's like the first thing that starts with U.
Yeah,
I can
it's
think
also
of.
like the only name that starts with you.
I was like, oh, what can I be like? Oh, Ulysses. I'll put Odysseus just to be.
It's an O.
I know, but I'm saying that'd be as my character's middle name. Not
Okay.
The,
Yeah. So your real names can be whatever they want, but
yeah.
your pseudonym should be with a U. You don't have to do
Pseudonym
it.
is with the okay.
So why? So willpower, or sorry, yeah, willpower points is just the same as my power points.
Yes.
Mine's 80, so that's the same, right?
Yes.
My power is 80. My willpower is 80.
Yes. No. Your willpower is not the times 5. Your willpower is the base.
My willpower. So my power is 16. So my willpower is 16.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Current 16. Sanity is power minus charisma.
No,
What was
sanity is your power times 5, so that would be the 80.
Okay. Breaking point.
That is your sanity minus your power.
It's a pretty high breaking point.
It gives you a better chance of adapting, but apparently adapting to violence and helplessness doesn't actually give you any good things.
Yeah, that's... Well, you're adapted to it, so I imagine it makes sanity checks a little bit better later?
Well, I thought it did, and it makes sense to actually make it easier to pass or suffer the lesser sanities. But realistically, all it does is it makes things harder for you to exist.
Well, it makes all of my other stats worse, but then I imagine my rolls are accounted for better. Something along the lines of like when I roll that 1d12, maybe it's 1d12 halved or something is what I would imagine.
It doesn't say anything like that. That's the weird part. I would say it should add like a bonus to passing those
If
checks.
it's related, yeah. If I'm adapted to violence...
Like if you're adapted to violence,
Well, also there's boxes, so like there has to be some
it's just
equation in there because like it's 1, 2, or 3.
no. It's just you fill all 3 out and then you become adapted. So if you pass 3 violence-based sanity checks without breaking, you become adapted to violence. And then when you become adapted to violence, you permanently lose 1d6 charisma, and you lose that same number from all your bonds. There's no benefit to it for some reason.
And distinguishing features based on your stats is just a description of your character, why I have a 70 in strength.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So it's like 9 through 12 is nothing. You're just average. And then 13 through 14 is you're above average.
Or do I write average above average, or do I
you can
write
something
a
you want? It could be
thing?
like big guy. If you get like 17 in strength, muscular, swole, rippling.
No, I just wrote old man strength, but what I truly mean by that is that like sleeper old man strength, like sleeper build, where it's like looks like a normal old man. And
So like sample distinguishing features. 9 through 12 is average. 13 through 16 is muscular. 17 through 18 is huge. 5 through 8 is weak. And 3 through 4 is feeble.
I mean, I honestly feel like just writing those things down.
Yeah.
I mean, to make things easier, I'm going with a lot of just the suggested stuff.
Mm.
I'm not gonna spend too much time.
Yeah. So 14 on strength is what?
Muscular. Let me scroll back to that.
Mm-hmm.
For con, 14 is perfect health.
Dex 11.
Average.
Power 16.
Strong-willed.
Charisma 14.
Charming. That's based on your actual job.
CIA.
What specifically?
Is CIA not the...
CIA is not a job.
I don't know. Whatever I described, where like I'm chilling in the village, passing information back and forth.
CIA analyst, maybe?
I guess analyst? I just wrote field agent. I don't really know. Thinking something more like intelligence. As in like, I probably have to talk to people, get information about what's going on wherever I am, and then, like in a covert way, and then send that information to other people to do stuff with it. That might just be an analyst. I'm not sure, but I feel like it would be something more like intelligence gathering or something along those lines. I don't know what it would be officially, though.
That sounds like intelligence. I think an analyst would probably be more stationed out of a actual office.
I imagine analyst would be the person that I'm giving this information to.
Let me find that. I want to say it's going to be 3 or 4.
Where does it say that?
What?
With like how many bonds you can have?
It is on the actual professions. So intelligence case officer, I think fits for you. That'd be 2.
I'm on the federal agency.
What'd you say?
Page.
Intelligence case officer?
Yeah.
I'm on page 162.
No, you're not going to find it there. You're going to find it further up in like the 20s.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't realize it was.
Or foreign service officer. Sounds more like what you're doing.
Foreign
service officer.
service officer?
That'd be 3 bonds.
Okay.
And what would you describe your profession as, Nix?
I was in the wrong page, but I went with the scientist. I was looking at the agencies first.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm gonna do scientist. So yeah, bonds is 4. And what's the score next to the bonds?
Your charisma.
Charisma. Just straight charisma?
Yeah.
I have 3, right? 3,
Yes.
I'm sorry, what was the title one more time? Something service.
Motherfucker.
That's why you don't have 2 different people doing different parts of the sheet at the same time.
Foreign service officer.
Sweet.
You travel to strange lands, meet interesting people, and try to get along with them.
Yep. That's me.
And then the professional skills for that profession. That number, that percentage, just gets put in the box. Right.
Yeah. So that number, I think, overrides what's already there.
Yeah.
I need one more. Oh.
Where do I get the list of what the different sciences are? Does it say somewhere?
I don't think it says.
Because under professional skills it says science, and I get to choose one, and I have 3 sciences to choose from. I get it. Do I just make that up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine for you to be like biology, chemistry,
Sure.
virology, stuff like that.
What's my score for these bonds?
Your charisma.
The times 5 or the normal?
The base.
Motivations and mental disorders. Mental disorders probably don't have any yet, right?
No.
And then motivations, like why I'm in Delta.
Yes.
I think Mr. Wilson just sees all of these things as just a foreign threat. Duty / foreign threat. I'll hold off on any stats for the moment until he's kind of at that point too. I guess it makes sense to do those first.
What are you talking about?
Sounds like you're just doing it already. You have the book open. Your skills.
Oh yeah, I just went with the
Okay.
with what's suggested in the document.
All right. So CIA, my skills would be derived from that Foreign Service Officer CIA, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what would that be?
Accounting 40.
That's not plus 40. That is 40
It's overriding.
override.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anthropology 40.
What's anthropology?
Study of people and cultures.
Okay.
Bureaucracy 60.
Okay.
You have your choice of 2 foreign languages at 50% and 1 more foreign language at 40%.
What's the other? What is it? Brazil that doesn't speak Spanish?
That's
They speak
Portuguese.
Portuguese. So it's 2 languages at 40,
2 at 50, 1 at 40.
2 at 50, 1 at 40.
That's it, right?
Mm,
The
yeah.
basic sheet.
Then you gotta do your tag skills. So choose any 8 skills, and you can increase them by 20%, and you can increase each of them multiple times, but you cannot go past 80.
Okay.
How many skills? Sorry?
8.
8 skills. Increase
By 20.
by 8 skills. Increase by 20, but cannot surpass 60.
80.
80.
Okay. Cool.
There's no other skills, just those 3 that you listed, and then the languages.
You have more. Hold up.
Okay. Bureaucracy is the one you left on.
So bureaucracy and foreign languages. You have 40 to history.
Okay.
50 to human.
What's human?
Human intelligence. So.
Okay.
It's like insight.
Yeah.
40 to law, and 50 to persuade.
Is there intimidate, or is that just a persuade?
I think that falls in the same category.
Is that everything?
Yes.
Okay.
Although I figure intimidate could also be a charisma or a human skill as well.
Forensics would be very specifically like fingerprints and shit, not general investigation, right?
Gathering detailed information and evidence using forensic equipment, using it to record biometrics, determine details about a weapon used, accelerant used to start a fire, discern crucial clues that an ordinary searcher wouldn't recognize, clean a scene of incriminating evidence, collect or analyze, and compare fingerprints and DNA samples. It's like the whole school of forensics.
Okay. Ride would be like motorcycles and shit?
Let me see.
Well, there's drive. So there's drive and there's ride.
Yeah, I don't know what the difference would be.
It would
Animals?
actually be like horses.
Okay.
Handling, training, and riding an animal. Horses, donkey, camels, whatever.
Yeah. So animals is ride. Okay, I think I'm good. Well, I need to write down who my bonds are.
And I can add, of those 8 that I can do, I could do 2 and 1 as long as it doesn't exceed 80, right?
Correct. I think 80 just caps it.
Yeah.
So you could like waste percent. Machine guns, rocket launchers.
Like AKs and shit?
No, that'd be
Like real heavy weapons.
real heavy weapons. Heavy ordnance.
Okay.
Howitzer. 50 cal mounted on a Humvee.
Sorry, you said we were Cell U, so we should come up with a pseudonym that begins with the U.
Mm.
And should that be in place of the first name, last name?
No.
It's just something to keep track of.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Can I start requisitioning things, please?
Yes, you may.
So weapons, I would like a personal firearm, pistol.
Yeah, just think of a pistol. I mean, your CIA, you probably have some sort of standard issue.
Yeah, probably like a 9mm or a 45.
Hmm.
Is there a difference between why I would take a 9 over a 40?
I'm pretty sure a 45 does more damage.
But is there a reason why I would take the 9 over
It
the 45?
has 7 bullet clip.
That's the clip size.
Mhm.
Yeah, 45's fine.
Unless, of course, you're in a place that allows extended magazines.
Alrighty. And then
What page is the weapons?
I'm looking for that right now.
also like a 9mm.
Yeah, that's fine.
What's the, is it Beretta? What's this common one?
The M9 Beretta?
Is that the common one?
Mm-hmm. Or a Glock. M9 Beretta and I think a Glock 18.
Page 98.
98.
It's light, medium, and heavy pistol is the way that it categorizes.
Mm-hmm.
Both of my weapons. No. Yeah, both of my those weapons I would like to be registered firearms.
Okay. They're both a D10. I thought the 45 would be higher. Yeah, so a 9mm, it'll be like 17 to 20 round mag, D10.
I'm gonna get myself, again, same registered home use. I'm a red-blooded American.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get an M1911.
All right, good gun. That's also a D10.
Yeah, I'll write down all the.
I also have a 1911. It's a good American
Good
gun. Boot knife.
Okay. I mean, it's just a knife, right?
Yeah, it's just a knife. It's fine. The boot part's flavor. It's
Well,
probably
the skill percentage is just your skill percentage. You're just putting it here for convenience. There's in the sheet.
Yeah. I imagine. And then oh shit. Oh, I need to think. I just realized melee weapons are a separate thing. Armor and gear. I mean, I'm a CIA operative. I could probably get a vest.
Yeah.
Right.
I think most law enforcement could just have a vest standard issue.
Yeah. What would that be? What would I write in armor?
If it's it depends if it's over or under. So if it's something that you can fit under your clothes, then it'll be a 3 armor rating.
Where would I put 3 AR armor rating?
Yeah.
Okay. Gear. Can I have, as a CIA operative, I imagine I have my CIA badge. I don't know. How much do you think the CIA would get away with having fake identification things? Probably not on U.S. soil.
Well, CIA.
They would just hold their own identity. It would probably be problematic if they claimed to be NYPD or something.
Yeah, but generally CIA don't want to out themselves as CIA unless you're working with another federal. Federal. Why is the word escaping me?
Agency.
There you go.
Now, what about passports?
Fake passports? Probably something you can do, especially if you're working as a foreign intelligence officer.
Can I just D4 it? How many fakes I have?
Sure.
I got 3 fake passports.
Can I have ground penetrating radar?
What is that even under?
It's under surveillance. It's like a major expense.
Yeah, no.
I imagine I have a Nokia.
Mm-hmm. Good old brick phone.
Yep.
Small kind.
Can I have a large sword? I'm just playing.
I imagine I could have walkie-talkies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when and if we'll ever get to the point. Maybe it's in that next version of this game. But I do like the fact that the handbook does lay out. Where was it? Artillery.
Yep.
Like a cruise missile.
And I can use them. Carl Wilson. Well, what are some U names, by the way? Because I can't think of anything other than Ulysses.
Off the top of my head, Ulysses and Oric are the only things I can think of.
There's a guy we used to work with. His name was Yuli.
I think that's just short for Ulysses.
It is, but that's what he went by, is Yuli. That's what I'm going with. It's just Yuli. It's not specified here, but could I get like a not like a crazy kit, but like a decent forensic kit?
Yeah. I think forensic kits are incidental.
I wasn't seeing it. It's probably there. I just didn't.
I mean, if you're CDC,
yeah,
you'd probably want to have one of those, right?
Yeah. Specifically, I built the character to be able to do stuff with that.
Pretty sure most Most non-army government agencies would have access to forensic kits that are, proper.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, to the degree of my kit is not something where, like, it's reasonable that I could carry this around where it isn't like some kind of crazy.
I mean, you're not like dragging around a table full of, CSI equipment.
I'm not dragging around a fucking, what do you call it, a centrifuge?
Yeah, it's like a duffel bag with swabs and
Yeah.
fingerprint dust and maybe a UV light in the spray.
God, you just picked the worst cell. There are no names. Like, it keeps giving me the same names over and over again.
Well, we just have to be called U1.
Oh, that's why you did it, you bastard.
Can't be cell TTD.
What were you again?
Yuli.
Yuli?
I mean, just go Ulysses.
Urian.
Urine.
Ulrich.
Ulrich.
I might even just go Mr. U, to be honest. CIA operative, even like...
Agent U.
Where would I put equipment?
Gear. That's all I'm
armor
saying.
and gear.
Yeah.
Duh. Fucking idiot. Cool.
This is gonna take so much cutting of
There probably is going to be big gaps where you just cut through emptiness.
emptiness, yeah.
It's fine. I mean, it's if this is still just the session 0 recording, it's still not crazy. It's not a crazy
it's easy.
recording.
Easy. Okay. I mean, you know more about the game than I do. So, what other like gear stuff would you suggest as a handler for a new time player playing a CIA operative in Delta? I got a vest if I need it. It's an undervest so that I could still have my casual look. My CIA badge, fake passports, Nokia walkie-talkies.
Maybe a bag, satchel, duffel, backpack.
I was thinking one of those, what are those big backpacks that like wanderlust people carry?
Like a hiker's bag or a Molly kit.
I guess a hiker's bag. Like people that travel around the world have those big ass backpacks.
Yeah, like a hiker's bag. I think that's what they're called.
Sure.
You know what I saw recently was somebody had a backpack for their hockey gear, and it was the biggest backpack I've ever seen in my life. It was like it made the guy look like a child because this thing was just this like
Huge
thing.
Massive.
On
Has to cover his stick, his skates, his pads.
I think it's just the pads, how big the pads are, and like having it being actually contained into a backpack. I was like, Jesus Christ, that thing is huge. It was like 4 foot tall, with like 3 foot wide. Like it was this big thing on his back. I'm a fucking scientist, so I don't have a lot of this stuff prepared. I'm gonna have a gun because, again, red-blooded American. And I'm gonna have a college-age son, so I'm gonna have a backpack around the house and a bat around the house.
and a bat.
Yeah.
I'm probably, no matter where we're coming from or going, getting here by plane, so I'm probably not bringing a baseball bat.
I don't know what and how we're going anywhere.
I assume I do have a lot of money, though. I spent like 20 years on a government salary, spending none of it.
You can have a decent amount of savings.
I imagine I have a decent amount of savings, so I just like get places and like, yeah, we should probably go to a sporting goods store.
Regardless of what people say, government people make good money, especially if you're in an actual agency.
Yeah. Well, and if you're in an agency where you're literally spending none of it. Also, I don't have kids. I have a high school sweetheart who puts up with me. Immediately, I went to Nam. She left me. Still in her life, she just puts up with me. That's what probably my strongest bond. I have an army buddy from Nam. And then I have my original CIA handler.
Yeah, if we want to go over our characters a little bit, yeah. I have Tom from work, who is my work husband. I have Jane from work, who's my work wife. I have Emily, who's my actual wife, and then I have Emmett, who is my college age son.
Yeah, none of my relationships are very good. It's mostly just people that put up with me.
Your character is Bruce Campbell from Burn Notice.
Yes. Yes.
My highest skill is forensics. It's at 80.
Did you play Far Cry 3?
Yes.
Do you remember the CIA guy from Far Cry 3?
Yes.
That's what I'm picturing.
That works.
Yeah.
All right, your character's all set?
I think I should be good with where I'm at. Anything that might change would be completely dependent on whatever
What your briefing is?
what my briefing is, what the opening to the actual session is.
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess one important thing to do is to go over what was the event that led Delta Green to contacting us and recruiting us into the agency.
I'm going to leave that up to you a little bit. So I think I originally got recruited and had to get restationed with something that went down in South America, probably something more minor. So something more like a cult or gang or whatever, related to like an artifact or whatever. And that's what I was gathering information on before it, in a more minor way, went occult. And just discovering that, I think, put me on the map.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. And then probably drug me back to having to not be a foreign agent anymore so that I could pursue Delta Green occult activities in the States, which gives me the reason of having bonds.
Mm-hmm. And you're Agent Ulrich, right? Wait, no.
Oh, no, I changed it. Upton.
Agent Upton.
Yeah.
You're
Agent Yuli.
Agent Yuli. What was Yuli's event?
I think right now, again, up to if everything is copacetic, I think probably something came to my lab I work in, whatever foreign object. I did my thing because I was at my desk. It was the thing I needed to do. I wrote my notes about describing the object, swabbed the object, started running tests, noting different things that were coming off of it, noticing the different like chemical makeup of it. And right now, my idea is some test that I ran overnight, probably some sort of like spectrometer kind of test or something where let it run overnight. I had my own concerns about what I was looking at in terms of like the details I was writing in my report. Go home, come back, and all of it's gone. Scrub, being told that I have a new project I'm working on. And it's just whatever in the report I was doing, the details I was doing, how I was detailing it, the kinds of tests I chose to do was what got the attention of the agency.
All right. Yeah. Straight and simple.
Yeah.
Strange
Actually, I
biological
like that.
material and strange cult activity.
And I like the idea of it just being gone. And then like a little bit later, all of a sudden you get someone reaches out to you in you're in a coffee shop or whatever, and there's someone just staring at you. What is going on here? I think, we talked about motivations. I think like immediately being reached out, Agent Upton has kind of like a sense of duty to country. He's essentially signed his whole life off to it. Like it was Army and then decades of CIA with very little contact other than giving information out back to America. And then like immediately when this happened, probably first instincts was to send it up the ladder or whatever, but then probably being reached out to like Delta, probably thought it was perfectly reasonable. Like, oh, like there's more going on. This is still duty to my country. I'm just beholden to like not duty to the CIA, duty to country. CIA is just my employer. And so like signing on with Delta as well would probably fit right into that sense of duty.
And then as a subplot, I did want to have that my father was disappeared. He left my life when I was younger, and my mom always blamed it on some weird incident, some agency, something that he did, but I always thought she was kind of crazy for it, so I gave myself a little bit of boost in the cult with the 8s. But that was something I explored as a younger kid, and as soon as I decided I got to grow up, because I had a son as a 18-year-old, 18, 19-year-old, kind of like it kind of drifted away. And so if the opportunity came back where something strange goes into my life, I'm definitely up for it. Definitely like, oh shit, I forgot about this whole thing. Like it's always been in the back of my mind, but like, oh, this is something I would be interested into exploring.
Okay. All right.
I have no kids. I had a fiance once when I was like 20. She left me because I was in the army in Vietnam. And now America's my only lover. It's the only partner I need.
This guy at 4th of July.
Sweet liberty.
This guy at a 4th of July party, his fucking flag dripped out.
Right, well, I think then we could start the game. Is
Cool.
that something we're going to do now? Or
We could
wrap up session
we could wrap
zero.
up the session 0.
Yeah. So now that we all have our characters, we've talked about what Delta Green is. We've gone over some rules. You can catch us next time where we begin this venture in session 1 of Delta Green. I imagine we're probably going to name it after because naming it would probably spoil it for now.
Mm-hmm.
So name and title for you. I don't know it yet, but we'll see you for session 1 of whatever that thing is. Thanks for listening to, I was going to say take the damage. Thanks for listening to our first session 0 in system exploration.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.